Today, we're diving into a really powerful idea: how to truly thrive when it feels like the world around us is on fire. It's all about a new way of thinking, one that asks us to throw out some old ideas about scarcity and success to find something, well, much stronger inside ourselves.
So, let's just start with a huge question. What if all the things you're chasing, the things we've all been told are the goals, what if they're completely wrong? What if the constant hustle is actually leading us away from what we really want? That's the big idea we're going to unpack right now.
All right, so here's the plan. First, we'll talk about the big problem, this idea of scarcity. Then, we're going to totally bust the myth of balance. After that, we'll get into the good stuff, finding your center, and I'll even give you a practical framework to make it happen. We'll look at real-world examples, and finally, wrap it all up with the ultimate goal, the journey to peace.
Okay, first things first. We have to really get to the bottom of the problem we're all dealing with, whether we realize it or not. It's this feeling, deep down, that there's just never enough.
It's called the scarcity mentality. You know that feeling? Not enough time, not enough money, not enough opportunity? But here's the kicker. The core argument is that this feeling isn't natural. It's actually manufactured. It's a story sold to us by a system that kind of needs us to always feel like we're missing something.
You know, this reminds me of that incredible line, sometimes credited to Robin Williams, about weapons of mass distraction. Think about it. Modern marketing is brilliant at telling us what we want, but it completely distracts us from what we actually need. It pulls our attention away from the things that are truly abundant, the things that actually matter.
So, with the world constantly distracting us, what's the one thing we're always told to aim for? Balance, right? Work-life balance. But what if that very goal, that thing we're all chasing, is actually designed to make us fail? I mean, really think about it. Is a perfectly balanced life even a real thing? Or is it just this impossible ideal we're all supposed to strive for? We're trying to balance work, family, health, social stuff, but is that even the right way to think about it?
And here's the fatal flaw in the whole idea. Picture a scale. You can put an equal amount of weight on both sides, right? And technically, it's balanced. But if the scale itself isn't strong enough to hold the total weight you've piled on, the whole thing just crumbles and collapses. Balance means nothing if you're under too much pressure.
So if balance is this fragile idea that's doomed to fail, what do we do instead? Well, the answer isn't about finding some perfect external equilibrium. It's about building an incredibly strong internal foundation.
And this is the key difference right here. Balance is all external, it's theoretical, and like we just saw, it's super fragile. Your center, on the other hand, that's internal. That's something you experience and build. The goal isn't to perfectly balance all the stress away, it's to build the inner strength to handle it no matter what.
So what is your center? Think of it as your personal zone of stability. And you find it by kind of gently testing your own limits, not to break yourself, but to really learn where your safe boundaries are. It's about getting to know yourself so well that you understand exactly what you need to feel grounded and capable, even when everything outside is totally chaotic.
Now, this probably all sounds great, right? But you might be thinking, okay, how do I actually find this center? Well, the good news is this isn't just a philosophy. It comes with a super simple, really practical framework you can use for pretty much any challenge.
It all comes down to asking yourself these 5 questions. Why gets to the root cause. Like, is this a real problem or just that scarcity mentality talking? How is about figuring out if your goal is even possible with what you have. And then when, where, and who, those are the action steps. They turn the idea into a real plan with the right timing, the right place, and the right people.
Okay, and this is my favorite part. This is where it all stops being theory and becomes real. This isn't just some nice idea. People are actually out there putting it into practice, and the results are kind of mind-blowing. So get this. At a learning center in Israel, where they're actually living these ideas, they've shown that one person's entire monthly budget for all their food and nutrition can be as low as $300. How? By doing things like community gardening, being super mindful about consumption, and basically eliminating waste. And wait, it gets even crazier. Their total monthly living expenses, we're talking room, board, everything, can be around $800. And this is not about suffering or depriving yourself. It's proof that when a whole community decides to focus on what they truly need instead of what they're told to want, a simple, affordable, and really rich life is totally possible. And these ideas are being tested all over through some really cool programs.
There's Fayetteville, which is all about building these intentional, cooperative communities. There's the Israel Learning Center, which is that amazing proof of concept we just talked about. And then there's the Miracle Bar Challenge, which is an initiative trying to create a super affordable, nutritionally complete food source.
And this quote just nails a huge part of this philosophy. A real community isn't just about sharing a zip code with a bunch of strangers. Frankly, that can feel more like a prison. A real community is a group of people who choose to be together, who share an intention, and who actively work to help each other succeed.
So, as you can see, this whole journey, finding your center, building real community, it's not just about saving money or living simpler. It's all leading to something much, much bigger. The ultimate goal here is true peace.
And peace isn't an accident. It doesn't just show up. It's the end result of a very deliberate process. It all starts with hope. And once you have hope, you can have compassion. And compassion makes forgiveness possible. Forgiveness is what builds trust. And it's only when you have that real trust that you can finally, truly find peace. First inside yourself, and then with the world around you.
So let's end with this. It's such a powerful way to reframe things. The only real difference between the word impossible and possible is just how you look at it. Impossible can be read as, I am possible. It's just a final reminder that the life you want, the peace you're looking for, it's all achievable once you redefine the goal and find that resilient center. So, my question for you is, what do you now think is possible?